This is my 1985 Polaris Scrambler 250. When I initially purchased this thing, it was completely non-running and had clearly been abused. But I did get it running and I did some cool performance mods and I got to take it to the dunes. But now it's time for a proper build. In the last video, we went ahead and tore down the whole frame, so I'm going to be focusing mainly on the engine side of things and what we're going to be doing moving forward. Well, this is how the frame is currently sitting. It's not quite ready for powder coat because this frame actually has a decent bit of damage to it. But I'm going to get into that later in the video. And we also have these aftermarket parts here. So I actually bought quite a bit of stuff so we can kind of play with our setup and see what works best. So those are actually really cool. And that cylinder might be the rarest Polaris two-stroke part that I know about there. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and tear down the motor and see what we're working with. All right, engine's out. Start tearing this thing down. Next we gotta take this off. That's a 14. That definitely would have been easier if it was still in the frame. All right. There we go. Push the grommet through so that way it'll stop stripping our wires, which I didn't think would be an issue I'd have to deal with. Okay, so now I believe we can turn this around here. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 case bolts. Now I need to take this engine mount apart, take it off because it's holding the cases together. I guess let's try and get this thing apart. I saw a video where a guy said you can just hammer these apart. So I guess we'll see if I have to buy a crank puller. Well, anyways, I guess let's see if this works. Yeah, sure enough, the cases are coming apart. Cool. And I get the feeling you probably don't want to hammer it out if you're going to reuse it, but I don't know anything, so. All right. Crank is out. All right, first order of business. So on the stock frame here, this is like the factory like seat mounting bracket, and it's like completely tore off. But that's not the damage I'm worried about, because I'm planning to just cut that off flat so that way we can actually mount our fenders on there like properly. Because I did want to switch over to the 400 fender just because they look a little bit more sporty. So I flipped this thing over, but this is the damage that I'm actually gonna have to fix. It took some pretty hard hits, and that's definitely gonna need to be repaired. But I'm gonna do all the frame modifications and like fender fitment in another video. It's just something that is preventing me from doing powder coat quite yet. So on to the more exciting stuff we have here. So the biggest and most obvious is the aftermarket pipe we got here. So this is actually a hot seat performance pipe, and it looks really cool. It's got like an integrated silencer, which I don't know why, I'm just like a big fan of it. And it's a lot shorter, so it won't stick out behind the fenders like the old setup did. And I mean, I don't know, there's not really much to it. It looks really cool. I'm excited to run it. But on these three things, so right there is actually the crank we're putting in. And what makes that so cool is that is a 5 mil stroker. So we'll be sitting at like a 265, I think, assuming we have stock bore, which we won't, but that'll be really cool. So I'm gonna be doing all the porting and stuff, and then Ron at Core Fab is gonna be helping me out with like the head and some of the other stuff to actually get it, you know, working properly. And then this over here is probably the rarest thing I own. It is an AZ Bad Boys 250 reed conversion cylinder. So if you look right there, it is not like a normal 250. It's got a reed block, which is so cool. I've wanted one of these for so long. It takes Banshee reeds, and I think this is gonna help a lot on the bottom end because they're super boggy being a piston port. And I think that'll give us a lot more usable power down low. And one of the cool things they did on this, let me flip it around here, is they added in a boost port, which that porting, it looks pretty rough, I can't even lie. But I'm gonna run it anyways because it's cool. And yeah, I don't know, that's really all there is to that. But the reason this is so rare is because I don't know of any other like AZ Bad Boy parts out there that are like actually confirmed. It's like they were a prominent company, but like basically none of their parts are still around. I don't know where they all went. And I've looked for them, but I can't find them anywhere. So as far as I know, this is the only AZ Bad Boys part that like anybody I know or anybody prominent has. So that's super cool. But the problem is, I don't want to cut the transfer ports on that for the stroker because I just can't bring myself to modify such a cool piece. So this is where I guess kind of my multiple parts thing comes in. I think I'm going to build a stroker motor with stock like piston port induction and run that for a while, or at least give it a shot, and try and build a second motor that I guess takes like the reed conversion piston or reed conversion cylinder. So I guess really it's not that complicated. I'm just gonna build two motors. And I could build a second reed conversion cylinder for the stroker. I guess in theory it's just gonna be pretty expensive to build. So, and this part really isn't that special, and obviously it's a carburetor, but I got a TM 38 carb that we can put on there. I think this will do well with the reed conversion cylinder because it won't be quite so boggy down low. On the piston port, I imagine 38 would be horrible, but I want to give it a try and see if it's like actually doable. I mean, if it's not, I'll drop the carb size down begrudgingly, but I don't know. I got some pretty cool stuff for it. I'm really excited to try the reed cylinder, but I mean, that's really all. I mean, this probably isn't the most content-packed video I've done. I really just want to show off that reed cylinder because that is just so cool. See, I'm also at a crossroad on what I want to do styling-wise on this machine. So the tank on there is blue, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to restore the plastic to like a decent finish. And so I don't know what kind of color scheme I'm going to do with the plastics, because I can get black rear fenders and a black front fender, and I'll have the blue tank. And I don't know if that'll look good or not. I don't know if I should paint the tank. I really can't decide, so I'm really curious what you guys think. I could do like a dark blue tank and like blue rear fenders, but then I don't know what to do with the front fender. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Basically all my combos are like blue front and rear fenders with a blue tank, black front and rear fenders with a blue tank, or you do black front and rear fenders and then paint the tank black. But I really want it to stay blue so it's like identifiable as a Polaris, because you know all the other companies like red, yellow, white, green, I want it to be identifiable as a Polaris from far away, even though I'm still going to be changing some of the stuff so it's not like actually stock. So I'm curious what you guys think on that. and let me know. Also, I know this is like super random and off-brand for my channel, but I have this Pioneer 500 here that I got a long travel kit for, and I think I'm gonna make a video on that. So this thing is pretty cool. I'll show you some clips of some of the stuff I've done. But I think I'll make a good video, so hopefully you guys won't be too mad at me for doing side-by-side content, because I know anytime the guys I watch that do four-wheeler stuff do side-by-side stuff, kind of irritates me. But please, these things are kind of cool. I think it's like super weird, and it's a manual transmission. It's got paddle shifters. But anyways, that's actually all I have for you guys today. I know this is kind of a short video, and I hope you did enjoy it. I'm really curious what you guys think about the 250 stuff, so definitely let me know in the comments. But that is all I have for you today, and I hope to see you in the next one.